Good afternoon, everybody. So it is our weekly training on the insurance side, and today is my one of my favorite humans that I've gotten to know over the last year or so. We're going to talk today about some really cool tech stuff. Okay, Trent Daniel leads an AI development company. I'll let him kind of give his spiel on that. But what we're going to show today is something that we've been working on for the last few months, we'll say. Um, and in essence, the idea here is how do you create individuality? How do you create the opportunity to separate yourself from the pack? You know, all of us on this call are in some form of unity, if you will, some kind of tie in with Valor to a certain extent. Trent has accelerated the opportunities that you'll see today, different ways to help elevate your game. How do you take yourself from a one, two, three, four appointment close to a one, two, maybe even one appointment close? So that's the kind of stuff that we try and look at: simplification and opportunity to grow. And ultimately, where will this lead you? So, without further ado, I'm going to have Trent kind of take the lead on this. I may chime in with a couple questions here and there as well. But Trent, thank you so much for jumping in today and take it away.
Absolutely, no problem. And first of all, thank you for everybody for being in attendance. I don't know if I've made it to Phil's favorite person list, but I know I'm in the top five now. So so that's check off of one of my bucket list items. So I'm good to go. But we do have some cool stuff to talk to you about. And ultimately speaking, I first of all want to give a lot of credit and thanks to Bill. I'm sorry, to Phil for being such an innovator. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of this business, the insurance industry, it's started to kind of become aged and dated. And specifically, when I say aged and dated, in the artificial intelligence era that we live in now, everything moves so fast. You literally can blink your eyes, and a new technology today is old technology tomorrow. And that's exactly what's been happening. And unfortunately, for people whose job it is to continuously build and to market and to network and to grow their businesses, the tools have kind of outrun the ability of the producers and those who want to use them. So, for example, I'm sure if I said raise your hand, most people would say I've used either Chat GPT or I've used Claude to write an email, or I've used it in order to read a document, or I've used it in one of these two ways. And what happens, oh, I like that thumbs up thing, Phil. And so what happens is the tools are there, the capabilities are there because there's such an influx and overwhelming selection of tools to use. First of all, every one of them is $30 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, $90 a month. So before you know it, you're spending $1,000 a month on nine different tools to do two different things. Okay. So when I started working with Phil, I didn't know anything about the insurance business. I really didn't. I was hired by Three Mark to do some very simple automation things for them. And then that grew into the relationship that we have now, where we are the core development team for Apex and Three Mark and also Valor. So, in the perspective that I've been able to bring to this industry, is I am an outsider. I don't understand insurance, but I do understand nurturing clients. I do understand follow up. I do understand the challenges of emailing an illustration off to a client. And first of all, hoping they read it, okay, within a decent time frame. Second of all, hoping they understand it when they do read it. And third of all, hoping that by the time they read it, understand it, they actually do reach back out to me so I know that they read it so I can try to close the deal. So those are the dynamics where I specialize in being the CEO of a publicly traded company and also building my own business. So one of the things that came out of that, and I'm going to share my screen with everybody, is a system that we created called Docs2Video. Okay. Now, simply speaking, what Docs2Video was created to do, and let me get this share button here. Docs2Video was created to address a problem. Now, that problem is across the board in pretty much any vertical you can think of. But the insurance industry absolutely has this problem because every single person that you want to do business with, if you're in life and annuities, you've got to send them an illustration. You have to have something that gives them basically their quote. In my business, I send quotes off to customers. If they want us to build a software, I send them a quote. That's usually 2 or 3 pages. With what in the insurance industry, you've got disclosures, you've got calculations, you've got comparisons, you've got all these things. So Phil and I worked on a solution that could address that, and it helped you stand out and be different. And also it helps manage your workflow. So what does Docs2Video do? Well, basically, what it does, and I'm going to play this video real quick here. And Phil, I'm going to activate the sound, computer sound, and make sure you guys hear that. So I'm going to show you this little video here, right here, and then I'm going to let it explain for you. It's only 30 seconds, and we'll talk more at the end.
You spend hours preparing policy illustrations, but your clients never read them. 60 pages of premiums, cash values, and riders just sitting in an inbox, unopened. Docs2Video reads your policy illustration, generates branded slides highlighting death benefits, cash value growth, and riders, then records professional narration, all in about 90 seconds. Try it free at docs2video.com. Upload any policy illustration and get your first branded explainer video on us. Your clients will actually watch this one.
Okay.
Insurance agents.
So that is literally the simplest explanation of what this service does. It allows people that are in the insurance business that have to send these illustrations off to people. It allows them to do it in a way that's, first of all, much more engaging than a simple 30-page PDF document that sometimes they don't even know what to do with that. Okay. So let me show you the process. Then we'll talk about the philosophy, and then we'll talk about why you should add this as part of your business. And I'm also going to do a comparison as to what it would cost you to use what we call a stack or multiple different programs to do this, because you'd be talking about at least $400 to $500 a month. Okay. And you're not even going to get close to that with this. So let's just say I am Phil. Okay. And I have a client that needs an illustration, okay? And I'll talk to you about some of the improvements we're going to be making to this. So I come into my system, and what I would do is I would say I want to create, and just click this big create button. What do I want to do? Well, the system is going to ask me that, and I'm gonna, let's see, I'm pushing buttons here, but the internet, like I told you, internet is just insane. Okay, there we go. So it's going to ask me, what do I want to create? So for now, at this time, we have 2 options. You can create a video explainer, which literally means we're going to take that illustration, turn it into a nice, beautiful video for the client, and help me do a follow-up with them. Or this will create a PowerPoint, a slide deck that will actually take that illustration and turn it into a beautifully illustrated deck. So we're going to say video explainer. Then it asks me, do I want to either do it for an existing client? So you can load your clients in here and do multiple illustrations in the future or whatever you need to do. You can select from them, or you can say a new client or skip. So we're just going to skip that because I want to show you also this ability to just do a generic video that might be something you use just to promote your business. Okay. It doesn't have to be just for illustrations. These are actually video explainers based on multiple sources of content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say explain. So it asks me what I want to do. Explain this insurance illustration. And Phil, you see I'm typing real careful here. Okay, I have the worst typing in the world, but AI understands me, so we're good. Okay, so explain this insurance illustration. I have a couple of different ways I can pull this information in. Now, because this is an illustration, I know I'm going to upload a PDF file. But let's say I wanted to do explain our products and services. So I would click website URL, which would allow me to put my website address in here. The system will read my website and it will create a video about that. And I've actually done one, so I'll show you that in just a few moments, okay? Or I can paste text. So let's say I went out to GPT or Claude and I said, I want to do a video about how to get into the life insurance business. And I just copy and paste that text in there. It will turn it into a video. Or I can just say, AI, here's the topic right here. I want you to write this and create the content. So we have multiple sources of content, but because this is an insurance illustration, we're just going to say upload PDF. So I will click on that, and then Phil, I'm going to use the sample one you sent me previously. So now what it's doing is it's grabbing that PDF and it is literally importing it into the system, and it's going to read that illustration. Now, here's the thing, guys. You'll see a lot of systems out there like Synthesia or HeyGen that allow you to create these videos and allow you to do all stuff. Those are great technologies, but they are not created to be intelligent about the content that they are creating the video on. We have prompted all of the AI agents and the technology in this to understand an insurance illustration, to understand what disclaimers mean, to understand what mandatory disclosures are, to understand what the S&P 500. So you don't just have a machine that's taking your document and it's making these random decisions of what to show to your customer. It's actually reading it as an expert that understands the insurance business and the insurance industry. So it knows what your clients want to see. It knows what the illustration is supposed to be pointing out. Okay. So what this says here, so it's here, and here's what I'll cover. It's now giving me a summary of the illustration that was uploaded in. You pay $10,000 per year for 20 years in exchange for initial death benefit, how long the death benefit goes. So these are the high points, and these are the figures that the system will show in the video that it's making. So you've already gotten massive value out of this over a GPT or a Claude or one of those HeyGen systems or something like that, because this understands insurance. It also understands real estate. It also understands car buying. It understands bank finance. It understands legal documents. Okay. We're actually working on now a consumer version for anybody who has gotten any kind of legal trouble. And I'm talking about criminal legal trouble. So they can literally upload information in here and the system will analyze it and help at least give them some guidance advice without giving them legal advice, but to help them understand their situation. Because there's a lot of people that get in trouble and they don't know what to do. They have no perspective and they end up in worse trouble because they didn't understand the system. So this system can be used for multiple verticals and it understands each one of them. Okay, so that's what's really important. Now, here's an example of the system being intuitive beyond just what you've given it. So it says it has a couple of questions, and actually only has one question here. What it's saying is that what should the viewer do after watching? See, that's not in your illustration. Your illustration doesn't say get back with Phil at this number and this email address and do this and schedule a time. That illustration is literally just information there. And so it's asking, what do you do? So we want to say, book a call or a meeting, or we could actually put something in here in the free form text to say, set a meeting with me on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Confirm if you're good with this. And that'll integrate that option into the video. Okay. So we're just going to say, book a call or a meeting. Now, let's just say there's something in here that Phil doesn't see or he wants. And I'll give you an example that someone gave me last night. Okay. The person that they were doing the illustration for was a woman, and they noticed that a previous video they did, it used all men as kind of the background imagery. So what you can say is, this is for a female client. Okay.
Please forgive his typing.
Yeah, please do. This is for a female client, and I want the video to have more female people in it if you are going to generate images of people. Okay. Because see, all of these are completely customized. So the AI is going to create the artwork, it's going to create everything. So you can give it some direction. So watch what happens. So when I click send, it's going to update and it's going to read through what I said. And if I spelled it bad, the AI is smart enough to decipher my bad spelling, Phil. Thanks for calling me out on that. Okay. All right. And so what you have, so it says, noted, I flagged in the brief that the client is female, so any generated visuals should feature women predominantly. And so now that has been updated to part of what will go into the script building here. So this is not just a static explainer video. This is actually a customized piece of artwork that you're sending to a client that is complete multimedia. Okay, so if you're good with that, looks good. But Phil could put it in here. I want to do a comparison between a 10,000 annual and a 20,000. Okay. And if those numbers were in the illustration, it would focus on that. So this is becoming more and more narrow as we really hone it down to the industry. One of the new features getting ready to come out is that you can upload multiple illustrations and you can tell it, here are 5 different illustrations, but I really want you to play up on national life. Okay. Still give the people all the information, but I want to do that. So that's something that's upcoming in our next release. So we're good with this. So let's say looks good, continue. So now what's happening? It's asking me, who am I presenting this to? So everything in here is very structured. It's very easy to use and very easy to understand. So I want to, I'm sorry, who's presenting. So I will say in here, this is Trent Daniel, and I will just say I'm a life and annuities agent. And Phil, I don't know why I decided to try to spell annuities.
I was going to say life agent would have been fine.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Okay, like, I don't want my stock to go down. All right, so then I will grab a picture of myself. All right, that I'm going to use, and I have a headshot here. Okay, and I'm going to use this one, and I can also change the introduction message to the client and make it whatever I want. So this one just gives an example, but it can say, hi, I'm Trent Daniel, an insurance agent. Phil Resch is my best friend in the whole world, and I'm going to walk you through this illustration. So I can customize that, but if not, then the AI will just fill that in for me. I can select accent colors. Are there specific, does my logo, do I have a gold or a red or a blue or something like that? And I can select that. And then what information do I want to put on the slide? So I can just put this in here, and I'm going to put my website here. So now I've got all this information, and this is going to go into my video. So again, this is a far leap from the explainer systems that you see online, because this is an intelligent process, as if you sat down with your marketing director or someone in your office and said, hey, I want you to put together this video for me, okay? And you can save this as a default profile, and then we hit next. So now the system is putting the building blocks together. So it asks, what voice do I want to use? I like this Nova voice. Here we actually use a system that has like 200 voices that can be chosen from. So we only take like the top 6 and just use those. And then you can choose the video length. Typically, the medium length is what we find people tend to go towards most, but you can do up to a 30-minute video if you want to with this, and it'll just be a deep dive video. Phil, you have a question? You can't ask questions on mute, Phil.
Well, first off, I think we need a monotone magic one. So I like your suggestion, Aziz. But what I was going to say is we have a lot of multicultural agents. Are we now or in the future going to be able to translate to a different language?
Yes, absolutely. We will be able to present these videos in multiple languages as well. Okay. So that is coming up, and that'll be right here on this little settings thing. It will literally just ask what language. Okay. And it will have a little player there where you can hear it actually speaking in the language, so you know that it's actually doing it. And a year ago, this technology was tenuous at best. So I probably wouldn't put it out there to do that, but now it's pretty good, okay? Because I have no idea what that's saying, but I'm just putting it out there, okay? So if you want to add background music, which I always do, add the background music. It helps the slides move along a little better. They're beautiful, they're animated, but I just like to add some music. But if not, then you don't have to. And this isn't like hard rock or anything like that. It's just some nice little soothing, cool. I wouldn't say elevator music, but more corporate type music. So I'm going to select that I want some music in there, and I'm going to hit save. And so now it's ready to tell me it wants to configure my video. Everything is done on a step-by-step process, so you don't have to be a video expert. You don't have to know anything about editing or anything like that. All you do is just click generate, and then it's now going to generate the script. So here's what's happening. I sat down with my AI assistant. I've told it that I want to send an illustration explainer to a client. The AI is now taking me through each of those steps based on knowing what it needs in order to be able to achieve the end goal that I want, okay? So it gives a very easy, simple to walk through process. Now what it's doing, it's gone and gotten our script writer, and it's writing the script, okay? And this is going to be a very detailed script, and I'm going to get the opportunity to review that once that comes up. So while that's writing the script, are there any questions that anybody feel? If you had anybody that I can answer a question real quick.
You had a few people come off mute. So Hiran, John, Nana, you had questions?
No, I just think it's fascinating compared to the other people I've looked at, their advertisements. I haven't heard any pricing, but it's astronomical what these other companies are charging.
Yes. Well, you're for about, if your use is going to be about 20 videos a month, you'll be paying like $79. Okay.
What?
And yeah, absolutely. And if you're going to be over that, you'll be in around the 249 range a month. And that's just if you're just doing killer stuff. But this stuff is not that expensive. But
my word, Trent, that's incredible.
Right.
I like that reaction, John.
that is what we would call a good reaction. Because literally, if you go on and type in, if you go in and type in explainer video right now, the cheapest one I think is called Gold Pro, and it's like $199 a month, and you don't get anywhere near the variety. And what's going to really blow your mind, guys, is when you see the quality of these videos. We've literally made these almost like cinematic type presentations, but we also have ones that are more like a standard PowerPoint, and I'll show you that. So what you have here now is you have the script. Now, this just gives a highlight of what's going to be on each card, but let's just say I see something I want to change. All I have to do is click edit script, and now I can go in and edit every single one of these scripts the way I want to, and it will actually let me add new statistics. So if I want to add a statistic in here that talks about, a different policy or something like that, or, the median age of mortality rates or anything like that, I can do that, or I can add bullet points. So this allows me to further craft the script that has already been done and add more to it, or I can take away. So you have free form ability to do all this. And then once you're happy, then you just say, you just literally just go on and go down to the bottom and say generate if you want to preview the slides. And if you don't want to do anything, you just click on this and you just say, okay, yeah, policy at a glance, guarantee long-term growth, yada, 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 got it, love it. And here's your information that we put in. So this is my information that I put in here, okay, for this. And that is my real phone number. So feel free to send me a text message and tell me how awesome I was in this presentation, okay? All right, so we'll click generate. And so now what's happening is that it gives us the ability to select from different styles. We're going to continuously be adding new styles in here. We can do anything with this. This is what's so amazing about this technology, is that the models out there for image generation and video generation are just going crazy. And this is just the beginning. In a year, we'll literally be able to create an entire 2-minute commercial for your business with actors and scenery and all that stuff, and doing it literally from this system. So this is going to get more valuable as we go. So you can select from Aurora, which is more almost like a very pretty video-based PowerPoint, okay? Or you can, and we can zoom in here and see. So this is what the slide would look like on the Aurora video, okay? We can do a cinematic one, and this is more of a, you got the beautiful trees and the beautiful scenery, and then there's a little logo that would go down there. It says Acme because I'm a diehard Roadrunner fan from way back in the day on Bugs Bunny. So Acme is like the company for me. All right. Then you got Editorial, and this is more of a kind of newspaper, kind of, very simple, mature Times Roman fonts for your business. So it's very professional. A lot of finance people like this. And then a more colorful explainer video. So let's say this is something that's a little more trendy. You're doing it for your, let's just say you have a nightclub business or you have a entertainment venue or something that you want to do. You want something. So we'll continue to add to these templates. And we do have a service where we can actually create a template for your business specifically. So it would say Valor Financial Services template, and then everything is branded around his Valor's colors, logos, background imagery. We can do that for you. Now that you would say pay anywhere between $400, maybe up to $750 for us to do that. But it would have bullet points, it would have animations, charts, graphs, and you can use it over and over and over again. Okay. So once we're happy, and we're just going to go with cinematic, I really like these. We're going to click on starting. Okay. And so now what it's doing is taking everything that we've done. Okay. And it's pulling a script together. It's pulling the changes I made. It's researching and understanding the industry nuances and things like that. It's looking at any things that I said, such as this is going to be a more female-based viewer. So do things that are more suggestive of that, okay? So it's going to go ahead and create this, and it'll start to populate these little thumbnails down here, which you actually get a chance to see kind of what your video is going to be like before you even render it out. So this first one came up here. It shows this picture of this guy with his hand pointing down on a piece of paper there. Okay. And so these will just continue to render out. Now you can close this. You can go on to the dashboard. You can start creating more videos. You don't have to sit here and literally nurse this one along and babysit this. And it'll give you a pretty good gauge of how far along it is. What we found is this gauge is about 85% accurate. Sometimes if a video has some complexities to the imagery, it might be a little long, but typically, guys, within 2 to 5 minutes, you should have your video rendered, but we don't lock you into having to stay on the screen. You can set it and forget it, then go do something else and then come back and finish that. Now, one of the updates we're going to be making to this very soon is that once the video is done, you can just tell the system, hey, once this is done, go ahead and email this to the client, okay? I don't even need to see it, whatever, and then I'll show you what one of those share pages are. So while this video is rendering out, I'll see if there's any other questions from anybody, because we're probably be another minute or so I can jump in. So does anybody have any questions or comments or anything?
Aziz,
No?
you're off mute.
Some time ago, when I was initially playing with Docs2Video, I ran into some error codes that I forwarded to you. Have those been taken care of now?
Yes, they have been taken care of. And one thing that I will tell everybody, and was that Aziz? I think that was Aziz, correct?
Yes.
Hey, Aziz, how are you? It's good talking to you, sir. One of the things that's built into this system, right down here in this little chat bot, if you have a problem or an error code or something shows up, we have an email address. And some people can get in touch with me personally. If they come through Phil, they can basically reach me personally. Or you go into that chat, and what will happen is the chat will actually read that error. See, we know about an error when it happens anyway, even if you don't reach out to us. So this script was built on a self-healing platform. So a lot of times when an error comes up, literally, if you come back 30 minutes later, you'll see that error fixed because the system actually reads the error, goes and research where it happened, when it happened, how it happened, who it happened to, and then it will go ahead and give us a fix for that. And then that fix can be manually approved, or it will push to the system. That won't happen all the time, but that's how we've set this up for most of the time, okay? Because anytime you start getting into multimedia and combining voice with script, with different AI engines and putting all this, sometimes those things can happen. But overall, Aziz, yes, we have corrected those issues. Remember, we had one yesterday at 25% where the video was rendering out, and then all of a sudden it started kicking out this error. and it was a very small little bug that we found, and we got that fixed, okay? So this system is pretty rock solid and pretty reliable, but it is early in its release, so it's just like any other major software platform. There may be a little bug here or there that shows up, but one thing that we've done is we've made sure that if there is, the credits that you use to generate that video will immediately be kicked back, and that's airtight. And also, we will make sure that we work very quickly to troubleshoot. And don't get me wrong, people, I don't have time to talk to everybody on my cell phone if there is an issue, but typically anything that goes through Phil will come directly to me, because I actually do answer the phone if Phil calls, okay? He's just got it like that. All right. So we're just so everybody understands, but we do have a very intuitive help system, but this is really an easy system to use, guys. And you're going to find that the end result that you're going to get is great. So we're rendering out now. We're on frame 778 of 5289. Don't freak out about that. That's really not that bad. But what you're getting a completely customized, personalized presentation video for your clients, specifically based on whatever was in that illustration. So what I'll do, since this can go ahead and just render on its own, I'm just going to go back to our dashboard here and show you. So you see the video is still running, it's still rendering out. But let me show you an example of a video that I did, and it literally was off of this exact same demonstration. This was one of my demos, so we were playing around with this little menu system here. So this little side thumbnail, you see it here, but in the other one that gets rendered out, that will be fixed. But this was just, we were testing out something. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a part of this video for you guys so you can see, really get the full effect of what it is. In fact, it's not that long. I'll go ahead and play it all because I want you to see how it ends the thing and how it brands it with your information, okay? So let me get this started here.
Most people sign a life insurance policy, file it away, and never really know what they have. This walkthrough changes that. In the next couple of minutes, you'll see exactly what your Index Universal Life policy covers, what it does while you're still alive, and why it works harder than you might think. Let's start with the foundation. Your policy opens with $200 in coverage. That's the check your family receives if the unthinkable happens. $10,000 a year for 20 years funds it all. You started at 40, and by 60, your obligation is done. A defined commitment with real protection behind it. Your cash value is linked to the S&P 500, one of the most recognized benchmarks in the world. But here's the key distinction. You're not directly in the market. When it drops, you don't drop with it. You capture a portion of the upside without the downside exposure. Growth potential without the roller coaster. Here's what surprises most people. A qualifying, critical, chronic, or terminal diagnosis, cancer, a stroke, a serious terminal illness, and your plan can put money in your hands while you're still alive. Those living benefits came built into your policy at no extra charge. Real coverage before the worst case ever arrives. Your death benefit is guaranteed through age 67, locking in protection across your peak earning years and into early retirement, regardless of market conditions. Beyond that, non-guaranteed projections show this policy lasting to age 131. Not a promise, but a clear picture of the long-term potential engineered into this plan. A few things can shift over time. Interest credited, cost of insurance, and expense charges aren't fixed forever. An annual review isn't a formality, it's how you stay in control. Also worth knowing, if you access living benefits, standard actuarial adjustments mean the amount received will be somewhat less than the portion elected. Your advisor can show you exactly what that looks like in practice. You now have a real picture of what your policy does, for your family and for you. Questions are normal, and none are too small. Reach out to Trent Daniel directly by phone, email, or at botmakers.ai. Your coverage is in place. Now you understand it.
Okay. So that was,
Most
and
people
that was
sign a life
actually a video
insurance
that had a
policy.
couple of glitches in it because again, we were testing on that, but I just wanted to show you that as an example. So if you don't mind, everybody, what I like is if anybody who has sent off a policy or done illustrations before, if you just kind of jump on real quick, whether you're on or off camera, and just kind of give your initial impression of that kind of presentation, kind of looking at how this could reflect on your business, where now you're not just sending people an illustration, you're actually doing a full presentation for them. So if anybody wants to comment, I know Phil just loves this stuff every time he sees it. So, but anybody who wants to jump in, I would love to get some input on that because we're going to let this other video finish rendering out. And then I'm going to show you also one of the more PowerPoint driven slides that looks a little more like a traditional presentation. But any feedback from anybody on what you're seeing here?
Yeah, number one is people are auditory and two visual. So, I mean, you're punching, the only thing they can't do is hold it in their hand. So, 2 out of 3 is incredible. People love stories, stories sell. That tells the story. So, people don't have to, sit there and listen to your mundane tonality or whatever. And it's just people
Nothing wrong with
follow
that, John. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Just saying. Just saying.
But what I'm saying is people love movies. People love short clips. That's why scrolling on your phone has become so obsessive. So
Yes.
I love it.
I'll
Oh,
tell
well,
you
I have a comment. So I really love the story as the other person is saying, and most of the time people don't read the entire illustration. But if there is a verbal translation like this, I think that's great. And people don't know that where your money is invested, and I really like about that talking about SMP and like clarity. So I really loved it. And I don't know whether we can translate in a different languages. I'm not sure. I know this is AI is doing good, but I'm not sure. But that will be great if you can set it up in different languages too later on.
That is coming. And
I know. It should. Yeah.
What I would say
Thank
too,
you.
so think about this in perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah. So think in perspective of this, okay? So how many times have you had a client who literally was like, well, just send me some quotes and I'll review it? How often do you get a response back for that, right?
Zero.
Exactly. They're shopping and they don't know what they're looking at. So it creates confusion, and with confusion becomes no sales. So from that standpoint, you have to say to yourself, okay, if I send this video, no illustration yet, but it explains exactly what the policy is supposed to do for them. Once again, what I said in the beginning, I'll say again, you might have a 4 or 5 appointment close normally because you have to go back and ask the questions. They have to think about it and go back and forth. It's like a ping pong match. Here, you set this in advance. This is what we're going to talk about, overarching view, and then they have their questions ready, and then you can show them the details. But the most important part about that is you're protecting your intel. You're protecting the product that you're exposing to them, so they're not going to take it around everywhere. And oh, by the way, every time someone watches this video, you get a notification.
Absolutely. And that's really important point that you made there, Phil. And in just a minute, I'll show everybody the share page. So this is more than just a video making system. And John, if you like this, you're gonna go crazy over what I'm about to tell you next. So this is so much more than that, because also what happens, and I'm just gonna click into one of the previous videos I did, and I'll show you just a couple of clips of this one so you can see, but there is a share with clients or a copy link buttons right down here, okay? And what they do is if I copy that link, then I go into my browser or I just email them that link. What they're going to get is a customized page with my business branding on it, with information. They can download the video. And one of the things that we're adding in literally in the next couple of days, the entire illustration will be attached to this. So it's not where you're sending something to them that's different or that doesn't contain all the information for compliance purposes, they're going to get the illustration also. They're going to get that 40 or 50 page document, okay? So they're always going to have all of the disclosures, all of the information that you legally have to have when you send these illustrations in the illustration. It's going to be attached to this video, okay? So this is what they're watching, and I'm just going to click this real quick and just play a couple of these so you can see this different style.
Most software hands you a system and says, adapt. Botmakers flips that. They build custom, full-stack AI that works the way your organization already works. If you've ever felt like your tools are running you instead of the other way around, this is worth your next few minutes. Botmakers is an enterprise AI solutions company. I host poker. Already clients include DM&A attorneys at law, Colonial Stock Transfer, 3Mark Financial, and I host poker, already running on systems Botmakers built for them. Already operate. Tailored project summary to your inbox within minutes. From there, a free 30-minute discovery call. No obligation, no technical prerequisite. Gives you a clear picture of what's possible. Everything you need is right here. Botmakers. A direct email, a phone number, and a physical address in Katy, Texas. Reach out when you're ready. One conversation is all it takes.
Okay, so that's a video that I actually did that we were just literally doing a test and scraped it from our website. So I didn't have to do any preparation. I just pointed at our website. It read all the pages on our site, and it made decisions about what's the best things to send to people. So I wanted you to see that, everybody, because you're not limited to just insurance illustrations. You can actually use this as a business card, a video business card to people to talk about your business. We have some students that are using them for school projects, okay? So there's all kind of different ways you can use this system, so you're not locked in to anything. You can use this business across the board, this system across the board, and your contact information, everything is here for people to reach you. So what we have is a extremely intelligent, highly valuable system that will help you market your business. And like Phil said, is that video was just watched. I'm going to get an email in a few minutes that's going to say that I just watched that video, okay? So now I don't have to guess when my client has engaged with that. I'm literally going to know within a minute or two of them watching the video that they've watched it. So it tells me, hey, I need to go ahead and give Bob a call. Maybe I don't want to say him, I noticed you watched the video, but it's just like, hey, Bob, I'm just doing a follow-up call with you. I sent you a video to see, and usually they'll say, oh, yeah, I just finished watching it. Oh, what a coincidence. Okay, so this is really a full-scale marketing systems, and I'll tell you one of the things about this, guys, that Phil and I are so excited about is we've already gotten inquiries from major software development firms for the insurance and the annuities industry that they want to look at using these solutions for all kind of things. So where this is going is just endless possibilities. But what this will do, and this is not a maybe, what this will do for your agency or your business, it will give you a much better image and a much better presentation of something that you're required to do. You have to send that information off to them. But also it will give you a much better image when you're marketing your business. Now you market your business, or you market what you have to offer to clients literally just through using that system. Most of the people that get on this system, they start off at the 79 and they end up upgrading to the 249 because they're listening. Hey, I can use this for marketing. I can use this for this, and I can post this to my Facebook page, and I can do all these cool things. So this is really going to be a comprehensive system for you, very easy to use, and we're really proud of it. And like I said, everything in here, when we're using AI, nothing is perfect, and we have no problem telling our customers or our potential clients there may be some things that are not perfect in here. When I was doing that first video, you heard her kind of say it's at the age of 131 instead of 131. Some of those are just little things that AI does. It does it with ChatGPT, it does it Claude. So we always try to prompt these agents to give the best presentation, but sometimes there may be something a little minor, but you always can go back and tweak this. So this is the video I actually created. So I just want to show you this real quick to give you a really good snapshot of something we did live in this presentation. I won't play the whole thing because it's literally based on that same illustration, but I want you to see literally in less than 10 minutes what we were able to create and just kind of get your head wrapped around doing this for your business.
Insurance illustrations can feel like they were written in another language. This video is your plain language walkthrough, what your policy does.
Oops, I stopped it. Oh, wait a minute. That was Phil, can you still hear me? Because I think my internet.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so my internet got a little freezy on me right there. So we'll just wait for that to come up. But anyway, guys, so this is again one of our kind of cinematic type presentations here, where it gets more into just beautiful visuals. So you can do PowerPoint style, you can do cinematic, or we can create one specifically for your brand and your business. And I'm not being a salesman here, but I would recommend, if you are going to be using this a lot, especially for marketing, you may want to go ahead and have us create a custom template for your business specifically, so you can have your branding and your logos and all that stuff exactly the way you want it. Okay. So other than that, everybody, that's my presentation. I will definitely give a lot of thanks to Aziz and to Phil, because Aziz was on with us at 11 o'clock at night last night, and and we were going through some of this, and he's been quite gracious. But we're really excited about this, everybody. And so just if you have questions or anything, or you want to go ahead and get started, you can go to docs2video.com, sign up, get registered, get on the plan. There is a credit card that we have to put on file with Stripe, and then you get your free 2 videos. And then after that, it's off to the races. But I'm open to questions. Phil, I try to give us about 10 minutes, to be able to interact back and forth. So Phil, thank you so much for this time. Everybody, thank you so much. And so I'm open to any questions anybody may have.
And
I'll say this. I'm
ahead,
just
Aziz.
real quick. Just 27 people minus 3. All of those people. I just wanted to let you know. I use four different animation Docs2Video in last 3 weeks, I would say, Trent, and was able to close all of those 5 deals because the clients were really, really, one of them is like, how do you do this? You are up to par to the AI world now and all, and it makes me feel good too. And just like Trent says, that you can customize, and I was adding their names and everything in there, and the agent's name, my name is in there too. So they know that this is specifically for them, that you're creating this video and all that too. And it's really powerful tool.
Well, no, I'll piggyback on that too, because obviously I help, construct it. So for those who don't know, there's, several verticals inside of Valor, so this can be used if you're in the health insurance business. How many times have you had a one-pager sheet about, Aetna or Manhattan Life or whatever, and you want to take all of that and turn it into something that's explainable on top of that sheet, so you have the opportunity to do that. Michi, I see you on here. We work on the sports side, right? So when we talk about working with clients and name, image, and likeness, NIL deals, we have an athlete package, and it's 4-tiered. And it took the entire video and turned it into an explainer. And I have right now the head coach for the men's basketball team for Florida State, who's going to talk to me on Monday, and a player who is potentially going to be drafted into Major League Baseball, who's watched the video a couple times. So that being said, this can be used across multiple verticals, multiple opportunities. And I put my link in, if you want to get registered, there is an affiliate program too. So, there's opportunities for you to share it with other people in this industry or other industries. Michelle, I'll point you out, real estate, right? How many people in real estate would you want to paint a picture of, a Zillow ad and actually turn it into something that can be explained and beautified, so to speak. So again, multiple ways that you can use this software and technology. The idea is are you in the past, using flip charts and white papers, or are you doing what most people are today, scrolling 2 to 3 minutes? That's a solid number for a video. How do you accelerate that opportunity to talk with people? So I think what you'll see here is a way to dramatically improve your business for newer people who are having a hard time trying to close or get in front of people. Much like Trent said, having this sent out as a value proposition as to what you do, that's your 2 minute elevator speech right there. We talk about that all the time. How do you increase your value? You have to have an elevator speech ready to have a conversation with someone on what you do. So I think that's truly impactful. And what I will say, and I'll let people ask questions here in a second, is we have finished the back office. We are going to do a slow drip out to people, inviting them to the actual back office. There's still some kinks like for um, policies and premiums and stuff like that inside of there. But agency owners, you'll be able to see everybody in your hierarchy. Agents, you'll be able to see all your information, submit life insurance, annuities. Um, you'll be able to quote through WinFlex. We'll even have some cool comparison pieces. Again, the biggest thing that I want to mention with this too, free. Okay. So the platform is free. When you think about that, you have a lot of organizations that charge you $40, $100 a month for a stupid platform. When you're independent, you should be able to sell and do what you got to do. So the platform to submit the business is free. And what we'll have on there is different features. So much like Docs2Video, that is something if you find value in to bring to your business, then obviously there's a cost to it. We'll have other things in there too. I'm willing it into existence, but Trent and I are working on this too, an AI assistant. So how many of you sold multiple policies and then forget to follow up in year 2, 3, 4? What if you had an AI assistant who literally said to you, Trent, you sold Phil Rush's policy June 25th of last year, and your annual conversation is coming up. Can I send on your behalf an email to the client asking any updates happen? Would you like to connect and book the appointment for you to make you continue to stay in front of your clients more? So we're working on stuff like that to help elevate your game, because half of it, when you first get started, you're prospecting like crazy. But after you've been in this 2, 3, 4 years, it's your referrals that keep coming in. So half the game is showing up. You got a bunch of referrals from people that you've already done business with. Why not connect with them again? The worst thing it is a conversation. But the best thing is you have the opportunity to get in front of people again and again, share your value. We got, I say, Preeti, you'll be excited with what we got, so don't worry. But
Yes, yes,
yeah,
very much. I'm so sorry, but I'm happy that I'm keep on bugging you nowadays for a week because I'm finding so much of trouble where this policy went, where this go, and I'm trying different combinations. I didn't know
yep.
this job is so tough.
Hey, no one said it was easy. You get good money in this business, but it does take a
Yeah, yeah.
lot of
Once
work.
I started working, I was like, what? Okay.
Yep, yep. So appreciate it, guys. Any questions, comments? Was this worth its
I
weight
have a
in gold
question.
here, Michelle? Yeah, what's
I
up?
got a sneaking suspicion that Michelle has a question.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Good. How are you, Trent?
I'm doing wonderful.
So I have a tendency to get these things and I love them. And then I get locked up on something. I'm such a perfectionist, if you will, and I can't do it. Who can we talk to? Is it just you, or is there like a support in case we get to that point? I have a love-hate relationship with technology. I'm gonna admit it. So there, like I said, I just get frustrated sometimes because I think I know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm doing.
So here's the answer, and you're gonna like all of them. First of all, if you're in Phil's organization, you let Phil know, and you're gonna be talking to me or one of the senior programmers directly. Okay, that's the first thing, and Aziz has experienced that. We're we're a big business, but we understand small town relationships is what I like to call them. So that's the first thing. But Phil has just been absolutely phenomenal in helping us do this. So one of the commitments I made to him is that customer service to you guys is always going to be pretty much white glove. Okay. The second thing is literally within the next week, there's going to be a phone number in the system in the lower right corner there, and you can call it, and it's actually going to be an AI phone agent that knows every single line of code in this software. So you can literally talk to it and tell it the problem you're having, and it will more than likely be able to get you very, very close to the solution, or it will escalate it to us, and then we'll be on it right away. Now, the reason doing that is because there's so many of these systems out there. And what is it? Well, email us if you have a problem and we'll get back to you really quick. Well, that's actually in this day and age, it's not necessary. And also, what we found is that these AI agents that understand the code are actually better than live agents taking the phone call and working with you. How did we test this? And I'm going to be real quick, Bill. We actually did a project with Adobe. And Adobe is like, they have Adobe Acrobat and they have Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. So what the challenge to us was, can your AI actually beat our customer service reps? Well, here's what happened. We set the demo up. We had 2 phone calls made in. One was to their regular customer service, okay? Literally 22 minutes before someone was even on the phone. When they were on the phone, they were literally having to go into the guide, the manual, and read stuff to us to help us do something. But when I used a term that would be consistent for an artist, so I used the term vector graphics as opposed to raster graphics. Well, guess what? The customer service agent didn't understand that, okay? Because he's not an artist. So he's trying to fumble around. We speaking, the call took over 45 minutes to about 50% satisfaction rate. Then we did the AI voice agent. We literally dumped the entire manual, the entire user's guide, into the brain of this AI agent. Literally within 12 minutes, the whole piece of artwork that was requested had been done. And it literally said, okay, are you on your computer? Yes, I am. Click on the file button in the top right corner. Now there's going to be a drop down. Click this button, click this button. It walked us all the way through even what tool in order to generate the raster graphic as opposed to the vector one. So this is the value that we're going to continue to deliver to you guys. And listen, we've got a whole suite of products that we're going to be kicking out here. But because Phil and myself and my team, we all have been or were small business owners. So we understand the frustrations of picking up the phone and we can't talk to anybody or sending an email and you got to wait for 3 years in order for somebody to get back to us. So those are the problems that we kind of solved first, was the service problems. Now, it doesn't mean, Michelle, that you're not going to click a button and something doesn't do what it should do, or you're going to get a little error message. Guys, listen, we use QuickBooks, and I'm blown away at how many problems QuickBooks has. It's mind blowing, and that's a multi-million dollar software. So, but we always like to be transparent from this. We consider ourselves always to be in beta, okay, which is test mode. But Michelle, if you do have an issue, I can guarantee you with this company and our products, you're going to get white glove service, because of your relationship with Bill. But even if you didn't have a relationship with Bill, customer service is very important to us. And we understand that companies now that don't do these kind of things, they're just lazy. And it's just like movie theater popcorn. They already got you. They know they don't have to give you anything extraordinary. So that's where we're at on that. So I know I gave you a long answer to a short question, but I hope that answered your question adequately.
Yep. And another question, is there training videos inside of this if you do get hooked up before you get to support? Are there ways to learn So like Phil was saying, I also do real estate, but I'm also,
Hmm.
I have several licenses, but I'm also a lender.
Hmm.
So there's different platforms. So branding myself doesn't really, it's just me.
Hmm.
So, but is there videos that you can learn, that you can watch? Like, how do you get the training to understand it? Because again, I can squirrel really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal on that. Yes, we are preparing a lot of those video trainings, but on each screen, we're going to have a little icon in the top left corner that you click, and it'll open a window and it will tell you everything that you need to know. And even there will be a voice that will read it to you if you want. Okay. The problem with the videos initially is when we're in our kind of beta mode, we make a change, we've got to redo a new video. Okay. But the text and the context and the audio is very easy to do. So, but I do think, honestly, Michelle, if you'll just kind of say, I'm just going to jump in, you'll find that we've made it so simple and so easy to understand and easy to learn that you won't have many customer service issues, if any. But if you do, we'll certainly be here. But yes, videos are coming, but literally within the next 48 to 72 hours, there's going to be contextual tool tips that you just click in the corner there and it'll tell you whatever screen you're on, it'll give you contextual help. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
A rapid fire. Nisha asked a question. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We making reels? What's up with that?
We actually have a feature coming out that is specifically going to be for social media posting. Okay. It won't be posting people's insurance illustrations, but you'll be able to make quick videos about how you're streamlined. They're basically marketing videos about how your business is the best business in the world because it uses this system. Okay. And you'll be able to generate the video, put your picture up there, do all that. And then you just click a button and then it'll post to all your social media channels and you'll just do a login, or it will just, if you don't want to do the OAuth, it'll just create the video, create the presentation, copy paste it into your social media channel, and you're good to go. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff coming out. We're literally pushing code basically for this system pretty much every 48 hours now. So you're going to see a lot of movement really fast. That will be available, Angela, within the next week. Our plan is by the end of the month to have that feature rolled out for the social media. And also, you'll be able to create flyers and advertisements for your business. Aziz, we were looking at some work that he's been doing recently in GPT. And so we had already integrated that in there because if you're going to have PowerPoint, you're going to have this, you might as well be able to do flyers. But literally within the next month, you're going to be able to go in this thing and generate flyer. You're going to be able to generate print ready business cards. It's literally going to become a full marketing suite for your business that I can tell you out of the gate that will replace Go High Level. It'll replace the $200 max plan with GPT or Claude. We're going to make this all available to you. So some of this will be add-on, so I don't want to mislead you and say it's all going to be at that just one price. But I can tell you this, our grand roadmap for this does not dictate any more than $299 a month. And that's with everything that we're going to be putting into here. So it's going to be a pretty exciting ride, guys. And thank you, Angela, for your question, ma'am.
All I gotta say is stick with us, kid. You'll go places. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. But I know we hit overtime. We said people dropping like flies, so I'll cut here. Anyone who wants to see this again, it'll be on the YouTube channel. Just a quick FYI, next week, 4th of July week. Yeah, we're now celebrating the entire week. I'll be off on vacation, so we will cancel the Tuesday trainings for health, Thursday trainings for life next week only, and back at it the week after. So I want to say thank you, Trent, for such a great
Absolutely.
job. And again, be on the lookout as we start slow rolling out the back office, guys. So more opinions, break the system, but we're going live, very, 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 very soon. And again, thank you guys for being here today.
And
You have a
Phil,
great rest.
Phil, real quick, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Actually, I
Son of a
did mean
gun.
to interrupt you. I hate when people
You
say
did.
that. They didn't mean they did. But listen, I'm posting my personal email address up here. So if anybody tries the system, use it, you have any questions, you have any issue, shoot me an email. I'm pretty good at breaking up 5 or 10 minutes of my schedule. So just Aziz experienced that also. So just feel free to just use my personal email, because if Phil's traveling or whatever, has something going on, I don't want you guys to miss an opportunity to get the help you need. That is my personal email address. I literally check it like every 10 minutes. So you'll hear back from me quickly.
Rock and roll.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
so much, everybody. It was great meeting everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care.